We are live, I think.
Yes,
Let
we
us
are.
know. We are. Yes,
Yeah.
today you're not using any of your headsets, so there might be some echo. But I try not to yell. So, what are we doing today?
Well, I'm struggling with constant audio problems. Besides that, we're doing our weekly Ask Us Anything. It's chill, it's fun.
Yeah, we can relax.
Yeah. Um,
We could be chill. Oh, Ghostman
we
is
have
here.
our first question from Fatima.
Oh, we have a question already? Guys, post your questions in the live chat.
Who's your fave AR member? I'm assuming
Ooh.
this is directed to us and not other people in the live chat.
My favorite AR member, Easy.
Yeah.
Susie.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. My favorite AR member is Armin.
Oh.
Come on.
Okay, cool.
You'd have to be for me to spend this much time with you.
So is saying idea is great. Soho has always been very, very helpful. Troll is saying for the Horde, for the Alliance. No, fine. No.
But guys, actually do tell me if my audio is not great. That's
It's
helpful
fine.
information to me.
It's AG is saying idea
I
is
don't
great.
know what's wrong.
Yeah, you have like 3 headsets now that you keep trying. You need a new. It's not the headsets. It's the computer. You need a new computer. By the way, guys, send us your question. But before the question starts rolling in, I want to tell you guys that I am not just a genius when it comes to politics, religion, philosophy. I'm also a genius when it comes to figuring out life hacks. Like I have managed to come up with like you guys, you have no idea like the resources of the wealth, the hikmah that you could be tapping into. The hikmah that is me that you could be tapping into that people are not taking advantage of, right? Like if people just knew how much I have to offer, they would be lining up. Like it would be like an army of hundreds of thousands of people just lining up for just a few seconds of my wisdom, right? But yeah, yes, Armin is so it's true. No, guys, I'm not arrogant. I'm just like realistic, okay? You know how I know I'm not arrogant? Because I also know
realistic about how he's right about everything.
yeah, like I just don't deny reality, okay? I just know I'm good at so many things. I also know I'm crap at so many other things. That's how I know that I'm not arrogant because there's so many things that I'm really bad at and I know it, right? For example, I can't pronounce a lot of words. My short-term memory and my long-term memory sucks really much, so much, really bad, okay? I have a temper problem and I have zero patience, right? So I can't be arrogant if I know all of these weaknesses, right? So yeah, I'm just like my strengths, I know them and I don't deny them. If that's arrogant, then consider me arrogant, okay?
Is Australia a country or is it a continent?
Australia does not exist. It's a
Yeah.
conspiracy.
It's a state of mind.
No,
Will
seriously.
you ever come to India and vlog it?
That was
Not
my
very
plan.
likely.
That was my
Now,
plan.
not very likely.
Right. By the way, Susie, you are deteriorating. You're becoming you're getting pixely. I think you're having the Thanos. Like I don't know. Oh, look at you, so sad. Oh, but you're getting more pixely and roboty. This is a connection problem right now.
Give me a second.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Um, is Armin? Oh, if Armin was a drug, then I would want to be on that drug. I love that. I love that. Can that be like a meme? I'm gonna be like, that should be my wow. Armin shaved, that's why he's glowing. Why is Susanna always having problems? Ghost Bunny saying, Armin, can you shave more often? You're looking sexier than ever. Well, here's the thing, Ghost Bunny. You wouldn't notice how sexy I am when I shave if I shave all the time. Right? Oh, Soha is on Twitch saying the audio is great. Okay. Susie is completely frozen, so I'm going to remove her for now. What else do we have? Susie, by the way, Susie is, hold on. I could do this. Hold on. We have this thing. Where is this? Oh, here. Thank you. Susie would be right back. Look at that. Oh, she is back.
We have the viewer going. Hell yeah.
Yeah. If you want Armin and Susanna to read your comment or question, please tag Atheist Republic. Yes, please. Thank you. On Twitch is The Atheist Republic. On YouTube, it's Atheist Republic. On Facebook is also Atheist Republic.
Make sure your questions are good today, because we've got to keep it kind of short because I'm in pain. So let's try to keep this an hour this week. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. Susanna, are you using a wireless connection in your computer to your router? If yes, I would start there using a network cable connection.
Yeah, I switch depending on what's working best that day, which I just did. So,
right. Armin, do you miss being around Persian culture apart from all the Islamic hoo-ha? Yes, I didn't think I would miss it, but I miss it. Mostly my mom's cooking. Yeah, I didn't think I'm gonna miss it, but I enjoy other non-Persian culture as not well. Okay, so here's the thing: I enjoy all cultures matter. I enjoy all form of culture. Okay, the only thing that Persian culture comes with that other culture don't come with is this like hint, this like little bit of taste of nostalgia and childhood memories that comes with it. The other ones don't offer that. So that's what I would say, right? And that's something you can't change. Sorry about the background noise. We got 2 super chats.
Yeah, one from AGA. I got no question at the moment. Just wanted to say how much I appreciate you both. Thank you, Joanna. And Gasian American sent us 2 USD. Thank you for the super chat. Saying please do Taoism by Cogito.
Will do. Promise. Actually, maybe I'll set it up really soon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really here for chill streams.
Thank you so much for. Well, Taoism would be on the hour that you're not available.
I know. It's still chill for you.
No. Oh, thank you. Okay. Are you nervous of the new equity task force that Biden and Harris are creating? I mean, it's what we expected that. Okay. I'm gonna be so transparent with you guys. Okay, this is more transparency than you get from your other content creators. Okay, and this is like something I can't help it. Okay? I can't help it. I can't wait for the opportunity from any ridiculous policies that is going to come out of it that gives us the opportunity to go at it, right? And this is extremely selfish because, I mean, this is going to affect people's lives, and if we think it's ridiculous and it's going to negatively affect people's lives, then I shouldn't be like, yay, more stuff for us to criticize. But I'm being so transparent with you guys when I see like, oh my God, this is going to be so beautifully ridiculous. I can't wait. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it ends up being good. Okay. I mean, if it ends up being good, then hopefully it's actually something effective that is going to be not ridiculous. It's going to be like looking at the roots of some of the discrimination that exists, fighting transphobia, homophobia, discrimination against Black people in an effective way, non-wokey way, looking at the left has all the weapons, right? We always say that if you ignore the Wokistani part of the left, everything that comes to the actual solutions to these problems do come from the left, not from the right. Okay, so it can be done properly. Okay, and I hope that they do it properly. But I do have this guilty pleasure. I mean, for example, we're gonna miss Trump, right? Because it was so ridiculous and all this back and forth between. I think we're not gonna miss Trump. By the way, oh yeah, guys, another thing, we're not gonna miss Trump because he's not going away. This whole ridiculousness of Trump is gonna stay, guys. The Republican Party is now Trump's party. If you look at the new polls, okay, like whether he's president or not president, the Trumpism is here to stay. We're stuck with it. So that is bad because people's lives are going to be affected by it, but it's also funny and gives us things to talk about. Anyways,
there are a couple good questions. We'll get to Thomas's super chat in a second. But Ghost Bunny is asking us, did you guys enjoy doing the Protecting Blasphemers 2 event yesterday? You guys were fire. Also planning on doing more of those types of events. Well, thank you, Ghost Bunny. We enjoyed seeing you there, which is a good reminder to say thank you to all of our AR family who showed up yesterday.
That's why I enjoyed it.
Y'all were acting crazy in the live chat.
I loved
every second of it. Nervous about it.
I loved every second of it because of you guys being there. I was like, oh my god, look at this live chat. It's filled with the Atheist Republic community. So you guys were there. It was so much fun. I was also enjoyed it a lot because I was so proud of Susie and the way she was doing her presentation. And I was like, go Susie. Like, it was so good. It was so good. I was like, and I enjoyed other people. I enjoyed Muhammad Sayed referring back to what Susanna said a couple of times. Like, that's right, Muhammad Sayed. Keep quoting Susanna. That's right. Like, the fact that she was being acknowledged like that, I enjoyed it. So, yeah. So, two things I enjoyed. The things that I enjoyed the most was Susie talking and being, like, amazing at it and making some great points. I think the top two speakers were Susanna and Muhammad Sayed. And actually, Leo as well, right? So the top three, okay. But the second thing I enjoyed the most was you guys in the live chat. You guys were so funny, and I liked, you guys, and you guys being there, showing your support was a lot of fun. I liked, that was good. We got a new member.
Oh snap! Who is it? Forest Blue. Welcome to the Minion Hood, Forest Blue.
Satan Minion.
Yes. Thomas Payne is asking us a question. He gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you, Thomas. Saying, who are the worst woke YouTube atheist channels? Well, okay. The question is, what do you mean by worst? Like, least rational?
Yeah.
Makes the poorest arguments? Just annoys you?
Nice Mango is on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know Anya was on YouTube.
Well, she has a podcast that goes on YouTube. Does that make her a YouTuber? I mean, if you have a podcast and it gets also released on YouTube, does that make you a podcaster or a YouTuber? If she's a YouTuber, then she's one of the worst. What was that other guy that starts with, like, his name starts with SH? Oh, no. His last name. Steve Shives. Is that his name? Yeah, it's Steve Shives for sure.
There are a couple of other atheist YouTubers who are like woke who annoy me, but to be fair, I think I was having a knee-jerk reaction to them at the time of like me being non-woke. So for example, like Jimmy Snow really started to trigger me and just make me really pissed. I probably need to actually go revisit his channel to be more objective about it. And also, I think Godless Cranium is on the list too, but that's just because I'm pissed that he called Armin far right once. Or I believe he did. He was basically he was talking crap about Armin, and I didn't like it, so he's on my shit list.
Who is it?
Godless Cranium.
No. I don't. Yeah.
Well, we don't concern ourselves, but
Yeah. Those are not.
I-
Okay.
Just saying,
I do want.
go to sleep or rest. She's in pain. Why do women have to work so much harder? Well, luckily, I'm badass, and despite what is going on with my body right now, I'm powering through, and I'm fine.
Well, it's called equality. So if men have to work hard, women now have to work hard as well. Deal with it. I'm just trying to trick.
The Prophet Muhammad is saying, Susanna, would it be okay if I denounced Allah and submit to you instead? Muhammad, you got to line up. I have a lot of Muslims in my DMs begging, literally, no, guys, and I'm not joking when I say this. They're begging to commit shirk for me. I don't know what to do with this. It's happening increasingly more often, and I guess who needs Tawheed when you have Susanna?
Wait, hold on. I do want to address this one. I don't agree with Mike here. Mike is saying Wash is the horrible. I think he's is relatively much better, much better than most of the people on the left. And in fact, and I think he's necessary. He's like, he has attracted a lot of people on the left, and he's like acknowledges the fact that anti-white racism is a thing and that it's cringe, even if he thinks it's not a big deal. But at least he says that it's a thing. He's anti-protectionism. So imagine like getting the most far lefty people that are becoming attracted to him to be exposed to somebody that is more for more trade rather than less trade. Like, imagine far lefty people being, because they don't want to listen to us, but they're listening to Vosh, and he's against protectionism. That's amazing. He also is anti-Islam as much as he's anti-Christianity. So imagine like the de-radicalization that is happening with all these people that are following him. And he's like, yeah, religion, Christianity, Islam, they're all cringe. So that's great. What else is he? Oh, he's like far left, but he's also against anti-male sexism. I mean, imagine wokey people being exposed to somebody that says that, yeah, it's not cool to hate on men. Like, what? So that's really good. And also, the one thing that far lefty people that will not, okay, so they have a red line. So I feel like, okay, fine, anti-white racism is a thing and it's not cool. Anti-male sexism is a thing and it's not cool. Maybe protectionism is not a good idea. But if you tell them that the revolution is not going to happen, that's the red line. Okay, they're all waiting for that revolution. Okay, so they're all waiting for their end of days prophecy to come true one day, just like other dogmatic ideas. And he can tell them that that's not going to happen, but he's telling them that the conditions, the star, are not aligned, and we have to play ball with the Democrats and the mainstream and the I don't know, the establishment right now. Okay, so it's as good as it gets. Like, you can't tell them not to do the revolution right now, but at least it's telling them that maybe one day in the future, but not right now. So that's like de-radicalizing people as well. So that's a good thing, I think. Anyways.
Quick question by Music Guy 20. Susanna, how did you educate yourself on Middle Eastern culture and Islam? It's a long story, but I'll answer just more for Islam. One of the most interesting ways that I found to learn about Islam is to watch debates between apologists and critics, and specifically seeking out ex-members of any given faith or ideology will teach you a lot about that faith and ideology. But I like the debates because then you can find opposing arguments more readily. And I just find it really interesting. And literally, I just started learning about this like this year. And people tell me I know quite a lot. I don't know. I'm no scholar. I'm no medical doctor, but I certainly know the memes. Other questions.
You decide. There's some good ones. Oh, here. You just you just committed blasphemy. You said Muhammad. Say it. That is wrong.
It's Muhammad Syed, peace be upon me.
Oh, okay.
Like his Twitter handle.
No. Okay, here.
Oh, wait. Well, Thomas Payne was asking a different question. Atheist Republic, have you watched or thought about inviting actual justice warrior or Don't Walk Run on your channel? Both are good at analysis, although Don't Walk Run is a bit biased for the right. I haven't
They're
thought
both
about
biased.
that. They're both biased towards the right, but scheduling guests, it takes so much time and it's so much work. I don't have the capacity for that right now. I'm already working too hard. So I'm prioritizing in a totally different vein of activism right now. Wokeism, it's gotten boring for me. Just being honest.
Right. It's boring right now. I hope this trend continues. I don't think it will. Maybe something will happen again and wokeism becomes relevant. But there's
going to be little spikes.
Yeah, there can be a little. There will be spikes. But right now they're on their relevancy right now is on the decline, but it will spike again at some point. Here's the thing, guys. Here's how you know your content creators are biased. Okay. Again, there's good bias and there's bad bias, and the good kind of bias is the self-aware, transparent bias, right? For example, I tell you guys that we are biased against dogma, against superstition, against religion. So you know that we have that bias. We know it, and we're proud of it. Okay, so we don't. So we don't hide that, but there's two types of bias from your content creators, and both of them are effectively have the same result. Is the bias that they themselves are not aware of, or the bias that they're aware of but they're not being transparent about it. Okay, and the bias, you can notice that bias not in what people are saying but in what they're not saying, right? So you could have a content creator that is being very analytical and objective about everything they're saying, but there are some things that is also true, that there are some counterpoints that they're aware of, but they're consciously deciding not to highlight. Okay, and that is biased. And sometimes you notice some of your people you're following are biased not because of the things they're saying, but because of the things that they're not saying, especially if they're at least sometimes not steelmanning the opposition. Anyways,
we gotta. I just want to do a dramatic reading of this question.
Okay.
Why you guys advocate enlightenment values so much? Yes, it's successful according to data now, but when it first appeared, there was no data to support it, right? Why not postmodernism now?
Wait, that's actually, I know this is a joke, but this is true. This is a good, I mean, not true. I mean, this is a good criticism. Is it? I don't know if it's being satirical or not, but maybe accidentally it ended up being a good question. Because Enlightenment values, when they were introduced, we had not that much of a reason to believe that they are the most superior values. And that's why the philosophers that suggested them came up with the dumbest reasons why they're good. For example, God, ordained by God, like, I don't know, like gift through natural rights, God-given rights, as if the universe somehow wants justice, whereas as if humans are naturally deserving of free speech and secularism and all that. So those excuses were dumb, but there was no reason. You couldn't do anything else because you didn't have you didn't have enough information to know if these work. But now we don't have to, like the philosophers that in the 18th century in West Europe. Now we have, compared to them, we actually have the data to back up why these values are superior to other values. We can see why they work. So we don't have to say like these are natural rights or crap like that. We have the information. We know why these values are superior. They just perform. So this question is saying like, okay, so why not give a shot to other ideas? Like, given that, well, I mean, first of all,
postmodernism rejects like empiricism. So like, how are we?
Yeah, but maybe if you run a couple, well, first of all, we did give it a shot, didn't we? Like we have seen that it doesn't perform. I think we have given it enough opportunity to see that
is a few decades enough? Because there's postmodernism and then there's applied postmodernism. And applied postmodernism really arrived in the mid to late 80s, really started to be consecrated in the 90s. And then it's over the past 6 years that we've really seen a lot of it enter more mainstream culture. Although it's been circulating on like Tumblr since 2012.
I can tell you, like a lot of people that are on our side, they're on our side for bad reasons. Like a lot of people just have dogmatically accepted that, oh yeah, secularism good, free speech good, democracy good. Like, but why? But why? Right? Like you can't just be like dogmatically be like, oh, these are beautiful words that we're just going to defend. You actually have a reason. You have to have a reason. You have to have a performance of these values to have, like, if your goal is to make the highest number of people happy and reduce the misery for the highest number of people, you actually have to have the data to back up why these values work over the other ones, right? You can't just be like, yeah, I'm for democracy because it gives me a boner, right? Like when I think about democracy, like, I just like democracy. Like just out of principle, I think democracy is great. I'm like, no, that doesn't fly. Like you have to actually have evidence to show that it performs better. But that's a very good. Well,
my whole chat just jumped, so I missed a lot of comments. But in the background, Armin, I just noticed that Steve Shives blocked AR on Twitter.
We never even interacted with him.
He blocked the AR. AGA, thank you for the 10 Australian dollars. Saying, what's your opinion on thoughts on Blair White and her right of center conservative view? Personally, I can't stand her, and she does trans rights and LGBTI community a disservice. I'm okay with my bias of her for now. Okay, well, to be honest, I have not watched. I have not watched a lot of her content. I'm only familiar with basically the demonization of her. I appreciate her simply for being like, it's not an easy position to be like a right of center or conservative LGBT person. It's really unpopular. You will be demonized by the community. And that's not easy. So I think like that's useful. I enjoy contrarians, even if they're not right a lot of the time. Just because I think it's important to have contrarians, even when they're not right. She can be heavily criticized for being tokenized by conservatives. So that's my vague opinion based on a vague familiarity with her.
Okay. Tell me if this is transphobic, okay?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, I will change what I will change if you. I'm open to criticism. Okay, I think that the right wing has some token trans people, right? And their token trans people are trans people who have more effectively transitioned than some other trans people. Is that fair to say?
Like they're more cis passing.
They're more cis passing. That's the right. Okay, yeah. They're more cis passing, and they're also attractive, right? Because I mean, guys, let's be fair. I hope we get to a world where we have make enough medical advancement that the transition is seamless. Okay, but right now we don't live in that world. Okay, now transition doesn't happen as good as it should. Okay, so hopefully, as we advance, we're gonna be able to get trans people a transition that makes them all exactly the way they want to be. Okay, but right now we don't live in that world, and that ineffectiveness, that the fact that a lot of people don't pass as cis, is what rubs a lot of people the wrong way. They see something, they don't understand it, and it doesn't match what the standards are, and it scares them, it disgusts them. So if the right-wing people want to have somebody that they use as a token to go after the trans right movement, they need to be passing, and they also need to be attractive, and some trans people are very effective at that, and they have managed to corner a market in the right-wing community. However, as much as that is true, it actually might end up working. Maybe this is like because these people are so defensive. Like, if it wasn't for these people, these token trans people, they might have never opened up to any trans people, right? Maybe this token trans people, and having the right-wing people who were completely transphobic, that would have never even want to be associated with anybody trans. Maybe now that they're like, oh, we're not transphobic. Look at we have trans people on our side, and they're like, keep like bragging about them, showing them around, saying look, these are our trans people, right? Maybe, even though as much as we acknowledge that they're tokens and all that, but maybe that's the gateway to them becoming more it's better than them not having any trans people, right? Maybe them slowly becoming more accepting of trans people requires them having some token trans people that they could brag about. Mm-hmm. So maybe it directly leads them to be more accepting at some point. I don't know.
I have a thing I want to clarify, because Vikram is saying, is it difficult for Blair White to be conservative considering how much money she's making from her views? That's not what I was saying. I was saying that her conservatism ostracizes her from the majority, not all, but the majority of the LGBTQ community, because it runs counter to the popular narrative of the LGBT community in the United States specifically.
Right.
So
and
let me finish. So so I'm being very specific in that, because yes, of course this is advantageous to her to be someone who is lifted up and propped in this way. I'm not delusional, right? That's what's made her and given her the position and platform that she has. But it comes at the cost of being ostracized from the identity group community that she belongs to.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, she has lots of other very fuego, very spicy opinions that also contribute to her, having an arm held up to her. But and then Symphonic Emotions said, I question that genuinely and politely, not for any woke agenda. Susanna Jester seen at first, not a good one for a platform like AR. I'm confused by this last sentence. Jester seen it at first. What, my dramatic interpretation, my dramatic reading of your all caps comment? I don't understand.
Can I respond to Vikram before we go to the super chat by James?
Wait, really quickly. Jay is saying nothing more torturous than listening to Armin when Susanna is present. You're about to get banned from the live chat by Armin. And then
let me ban his guy.
Pakistanified is agreeing.
All right, both of you are banned. You know what? You guys don't have to be here. Jesus Christ. Why are you encouraging them? I will legit like put you on timeout. You want to, guys?
You want to respond to Vikram's point here?
Yes, not everything is about money, guys. You could be like emotionally stressed out and feel like crap, and be. You could be. I mean, look at all the rich people who commit suicide. Like, it's possible for somebody to feel like hated. Like, you could make a lot of money, and if the world hates you and you get so many negative feedback, you might think like, I mean, what's the point of even making money? People hate me, right? Like, you could be put in that position, right? I mean, once some basic needs are met, most of your happiness is after that is not really determined by how much money you're making. Most of the happiness after that is determined by your social interactions, the people that love you, the people that accept you, your community, and crap like that. What? Every time guys, you saying you can't listen to me. Every time I'm making a serious point, Susanna like distracts me like that.
It's because of the comments in the live chat.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna.
Ghost Bunny is being cute, saying Susanna the only woman who can talk over her.
I can't. Susanna, why are you highlighting that? Because I can't.
Pakistan is fine. This is what made me almost choke. I love Armin too, even though he does talk like he's constantly wearing gargling bells.
I'm gonna ban you, Deepak. I'm gonna ban you.
That's disgusting.
You're highlighting comments that I have come back to that I can't say. So this is unfair. But let's focus on the super chat.
Oh wait, just a second. Pyro's being sweet. Saying we all know Armin goes the extra mile when Susanna's with him.
No. Wait, can you address the super chat? People pay money for this comment to be reading, and I keep highlighting it.
James, let's see. Thank you for the £5.
Why are you being like? Wait. Why are you not being great? Like, you're like, yeah. I'm gonna read it. James is supporting our channel. You have to be appreciative. Like,
you know I was.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry if my tone
yes
implied otherwise. I was trying to switch presentation real quick. Okay, so thank you, James, for the £5. Define token: someone who works against their own interests, but has it ever been demonstrated that Blair White advocates against her own interests?
Well, okay. So not her own interest, community. It could be in her own best interest, but against the interests of the community that she belongs to, right? I mean, she has, for example, again, you can never know people's real intentions for real, but they might sometimes make it very difficult for you to be charitable to them. I mean, her entire, her channel seems to be partly dedicated to, look at this gross trans person. That's the theme of her channel. So
typically really shitting on non-binary people, right?
Yeah, and it's very, I mean, which community doesn't have its own fair share of ridiculous people? But you exaggerating that, it's really unfair.
And here's the thing, there are I don't know how the best way to say this. People often do not tokenize themselves as other people who make tokens out of them, right? So, yeah, that's the best way that I would put it. Vikram is saying Susanna makes the show really fun. Thank you, Vikram.
Yeah.
But Symphonic had a follow-up that is very good, saying Enlightenment values worked for 3 centuries, but that doesn't mean it would work for all time. I don't think we've ever claimed that.
Right, but okay, so but it's doesn't guarantee it, but it's suggested it makes it very probable, right? So it makes it very probable. I mean, here's the thing: you could do the best way to keep changing. And the good thing about Enlightenment values is that it comes with its self-correction, right? So Enlightenment values include the scientific method, and also freedom of expression. So compared to all the other values, anything wrong with it and anything that could work better, it has a self-correcting mechanisms built within it, right? So yeah, so that's other ideas like, oh, it works or it doesn't work, but once you implement it, like especially because of for example, if you look at wokeism or far right or Christianity or Islam, it's just like a package that you have to accept, right? But when you look at Enlightenment values, it lets self-criticism, it allows self-criticism, it uses the scientific method as a liberal the liberal a whole toolkit of liberal methodology, which includes the scientific method that has the best process of figuring for example, the Enlightenment values that we defend today is not necessarily exactly the same as when it came out of Western Europe, right? It has consistently evolved, and even if you think Enlightenment values don't work as much as they should be, well, the best way to figure out how to make it even better comes with the Enlightenment values itself. Yeah.
This is funny. I love highlighting my own hate. Sorry to say this, but Susanna talks BS. She doesn't have any research, but continuously blabbers. We need better moderators. Be specific on the topic, Shubham.
Look at, Shubham, you describe like you have nothing to. It's funny because usually people that have nothing to say it with the most hostility and the highest degree of confidence. Like they have no reason to say, like you're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and like they don't provide any argument. They're just like barking dogs. But yeah. Why did I give you access to highlighting comments? I should have just not listened. You didn't used to have this power, right? I can't take that away from you. I have access to this account. You don't. So I could take that. Guys, I could take that privilege away from her. So I'm the only one that could highlight comments. So just be careful with that.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Just hilarious. I love being here. It's so much fun.
Wait, hold on.
This is an interesting question.
What?
Armin Susanna, if we had a fast gender change technology in the future, would you one day change your gender for just one day? Well, I think he means sex. I'm going to assume he means sex.
Sex or gender? Sex, probably.
I'm gonna go with sex. Yeah, I would change my sex for a day.
I would be lesbianing it up. I would be like, wait, are we attractive or are we not attractive? How easy is it for us to go?
Armin, we're gonna be attractive. Remember you already when a troll posted your FaceApp gender swap photo, and you're like, I'm gonna F myself. Like you were turned on by you as a girl.
Yeah, I would be like, people were
Armina,
trying to.
You're like, Armina is hot.
Yeah, where is Armina? No, yeah, people were trying to like.
I was so disturbed.
Can't find it anymore. It was beautiful. I was like, wow, I'm so pretty as a girl. I would like, can I? Oh yeah, never mind.
It was so funny.
But yes, I would like to experience being a lesbian for at least a day.
Armina would be jumping girls.
I'd simp for lady version of Armin. Aw.
Oh, Pyro is saying I might need to exchange my simp card. Susanna is definitely starting to win me over. Pyro, I didn't know you liked women. There's plenty of room over here, baby.
Okay, seriously, I'm losing my simps like left and right. Pyro, I'll ban you. Yes.
Can we protest? We want better moderators. I want to see you guys in the chat protesting. Okay.
Where's your pitchfork, Shubham? Get your pitchforks.
Oh my god.
Armina was so beautiful, indeed. I'm so sad Armina is not real. I would date Armina for sure.
You would. You actually
I would. I would.
would you date her or would you just have sex with her?
Oh shit! I can't stand her. No, if she's like me, I wouldn't be. No, I would just have sex with her.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
if she has my personality, I wouldn't be able to stand her for like half a day. No way.
Mhm.
God damn it. Oof, so annoying. Never mind. Yes, I would just screw her and then
I didn't expect my comment to be highlighted. Sorry again if I hurt someone. Well, I appreciate the apology, Shopom, but trust me, you did not hurt my feelings. It takes a lot to get to me these days.
look, Ghost Bunny is such a loyal simp. She's happy that I'm losing some of my simps because then she will be like my only simp. But Ghost
That's
Bunny,
not true.
that's not true. That's not gonna happen. But I appreciate that. I really appreciate that Ghost Bunny is loyal.
I'm the general of your simp army. What are you talking
Yes,
about?
yes. Susanna is also my simp. So
Number one.
ban me, Armin. Is that like? Is that? I'll ban you so hard. Right.
Oh.
Okay, it's getting steamy here. Okay, wait. Muhammad. Yeah, there we go.
Do you think atheism will destroy Islam from within, similar to how it's happening in Iran? Well, I'm confused by Islam from within. Do you mean will destroy Muslim majority countries from within? Because that's what I think you mean based on this follow-up question.
I
How do you
mean,
interpret and answer this question?
atheism. It's what happens when. Okay, it's not atheism that is destroying Islam. Is that Islam is destroying itself and atheism is growing as a result. Because
Especially the reformers. The reformers are doing our work for us.
Yes. By the way, guys, don't let the Christians make you think like, oh, people in Iran are leaving Islam. Jesus, they need Jesus. That's not happening. That's not happening. People in Islamic countries, when they leave Islam, they're leaving religion. Okay. Some of them, a lot of them still believe in God, but they abandon religion as a whole. But also, many of them are also abandoning God. Okay. But this whole idea of going around and telling Muslims that Islam is dumb to hopefully turn them to Christian, that's not happening. They're not going to Christianity. They're abandoning religion, which is really good. But yeah, it is happening though. It's happening I would consider myself an optimist, but how fast is it going to happen? And people are like, Armin, you're dumb. You're dumb. It's not going to happen that fast. And now the numbers are coming out, and it's actually, I wasn't optimist enough. I was an optimist, and everybody told me that I'm too big. Like, it's not going to happen as fast as you're saying. And the numbers came out, and it actually ended up being faster than I ever had dreamt. So again, guys, this is why you come to me, because my takes are good. Okay, in fact, I have to go be more confident about my takes. Okay.
Oh, there's a really good question for me.
Okay, good.
Susanna, do you have any advice to get people out of the radical woke left? My brother and his partner are super woke, and they call me alt-right all the time. I'm a left-wing liberal. Well, when I was a radical, I don't know if they are familiar with this phrase, but there was a phrase that cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds. So, like, it's basically implying that liberals are either fascists with a nice coat of paint on, or they will turn to fascists as soon as the proletariat rises against them in order to seize their property, basically. What advice do I have? I would look for inconsistencies in their positions, because there are going to be a lot of inconsistencies in their positions, and highlight those inconsistencies. One inconsistency that really got me thinking, was how the left treats, well, I'm not going to say the left broadly, the radical militant, woke, and those are all kind of separate, but there can be crossover. Left, generalizing. Um, there's a lot of inconsistencies about how they treat the minority within the minority. The minority within a minority group who has criticisms of that minority group from which they come that runs counter to the narrative that is popular among, say, progressives, or broadly progressive groups. So, for example, one very easy way to highlight this is the treatment of LGBTQ people who are either Muslims or from a Muslim background. That's the minority within the minority, and that that'll cause, basically, you have to look for the cognitive dissonance, right? That's one area, one juncture of cognitive dissonance, because it's two competing minority groups. You have to look for areas of cognitive dissonance and just trying to point them out. Look for, and of course, they have to be willing to engage in a conversation. That's most important of all. So if you're having a conversation with them, maybe ask them, like, is it okay if I challenge you on this? And I would study street epistemology. So street epistemology will give you a lot more tools to utilize in conversation to help drill down into how someone goes about establishing what is true. When I started to learn more about epistemology and using the techniques of street epistemology, I quickly realized that my methods of establishing what is true were like really flawed. And coming to that realization ultimately led me to let go of a lot of the dogmas that I was holding on to, with the realization that maybe one day I will go back to those same positions. Maybe one day I'll go back to those positions, but if I do, I will have better reasons for believing in them than I did before. So I hope that gave you some questions. Or mostly I would suggest reading this book called Combating Cult Mind Control by the now Stephen Hassan, PhD. He recently got his PhD. This will give you a lot of tips on understanding thought terminating cliches. It will help you understand dogma. And the latter half of the book is about helping people get out of dogma. So, must read.
All right. Prophet Muhammad is saying, I'll rephrase, do you think atheism will rise from within the Islamic societies and the process will be similar to the process in Iran? Short answer, yes. Next question. Do you want to highlight the other questions?
Shoot. I just jumped. Yeah. Guys, if we missed your question, if we accidentally ghosted you, please post your question again because the chat is jumping.
I'm not going to address this. It's not good safety-wise. I can't talk about this.
Yeah.
Atheism is what happens when you finally understand Islam. Well, it's not the only way. It's not the only path to atheism. But yeah, sure. Do you not think the West is succumbing to Sharia more and more, like Norway or nope, or Bill 103 in Canada? No. I think the West is. I think the influence of Christianity in Western countries is way bigger, a much bigger problem than Islam is and probably ever would be. That doesn't mean Islam is not a problem in Western countries. It definitely is, and it needs to be fought against. But the influence of Christianity is a lot more in politics and everywhere else. And that's again, Islam as a religion is much more dangerous right now to the planet as a whole. Islam takes the lead when it comes to the level of danger for mankind. But in West,
excluding state violence.
Excluding state violence, yes. Well, I'm talking ideology.
Yeah.
Islam is the most dangerous ideology right now on the planet. But when it comes to specific countries, Christianity is leading Islam. For example, North American countries, European countries, Israel, Judaism is a much bigger threat in Israel than Islam is, with all the attacks and all that. Still, I think Judaism, and in India, is definitely Hinduism is a much bigger problem than Islam.
And think about the pushback that these things get, right? There's major pushback. I mean, it often can be in the form of extremely reactionary, often sometimes bigoted far right pushback, but there is so much pushback. Armin, for the love of Zeus, can you please do a library review?
Okay, most
We've
of the
talked
books.
about it like so many times.
Yeah. Okay. First, I mean, I have a very few physical books, but most of the books that I consume is through Audible. So when you say library review, are you talking about my Audible and collection, or about the physical books that I have? So you have to clarify. I could do an Audible review at some point. I don't know. Okay, cool. Not this one, because we weren't tagged, so this is not for us. Have you seen the documentary The Sacred City? Yes, by Dan Gibson. Yes,
We talked about that last week.
yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know how true it is. Oh, talking about library review. Okay, I was never sure if I want to endorse this book because of the person who wrote it, because I don't know if endorsing this person is good. This person is a bit nutty on Twitter and social media. Okay, he has like a
Mr. Jihad Watch.
yeah, he has like a creeping Sharia fear mongering problem. Okay, so I do not endorse everything this person says. And accusing this person goes around and accuse people that he doesn't like of taqiyya, even people who are not Muslim.
Specifically, our co-host of the Secular Jihadist episode and our very own board member, Mr. Dr. Ali Rizvi, is actually a stealth jihadi.
He's also pro-Christianity, which is cringe. He also thinks like blaspheming against Hindu gods and goddesses is wrong because it's like pro-Muslim for some reason. So the guy himself, I don't endorse, but his books are pretty decent. His books are very well written and very well researched. Especially his recent books are better researched than his earlier books. Okay, and the Audible books I read really go through them really fast, but the physical books that I read, I purposefully read them very, very slowly because I'm trying to enjoy reading the book without actually having to worry about going. This is like what I read before sleep, just so that so I'm not looking at a screen before half an hour before I fall asleep. And I read it very slow on purpose. And right now, what I'm reading, which is relevant to the question you're asking, is this. Did Muhammad exist? Again, Robert Spencer is the person we're talking about. Again, I do not endorse everything this guy believes in and all the crap that he says about the fear mongering he does on social media and all the other stuff. I don't agree with this guy, but this is a good book. I like it. I enjoy it. It's very fun. I take my time with it. I reread multiple paragraphs as slow as possible. I'm reading this as slow as I possibly can because I'm enjoying it too much to worry about. Again, Audible, I listen to it on double speed and I go through it really fast. Physical book.
We have a question from Albert Einstein, Armin.
What? Oh.
Armin, I want to purchase your book. Is your book for everyone or just for Muslims? Actually, Albert, it's for everyone.
It's for everyone, yeah.
And if you subscribe to the newsletter, which is in the link below, you get a copy. You get a PDF copy for free.
Yes,
which kind of leads to Lily L's question, which is: so science explains how a phenomenon works, but that does not necessarily mean we should neglect the possibility of the existence of a creator, because explaining how a phenomenon works doesn't necessarily explain its origin. So why do we assume there's no creator? Well, Lily, if you would like to see how Armin would answer this question, subscribe to the newsletter.
Free copy.
So you can get a free PDF copy and read about that answer in this book. Armin's already has a chapter on this. So
right. Yes. But buy it if you can afford it, though. But also subscribe to our newsletter. Okay.
Oh shoot, my chat just jumped again.
Okay.
Question for Susanna. What did you not like about Christianity, which compelled you to leave it? Also, and what do you feel about Christians in general? I mean, what do I feel about Christians in general? That's like way too broad of a question. I only know Christians in my life. I'm not going to generalize a whole group of people. based on like the people in my life, and most of the Christians in my life are my family. So like I love them, right? Or those are the Christians that I'm closest to. So what did you not like about Christianity which compelled you to leave it? Well, I kind of went through 2 stages. So when I was 12 is roughly when I started to question God. And then I like left, I decided to actively reject the rules of God, so to speak, when I was around 14 or 15, which is when I realized that I was bisexual. And I was like, oh, well, you know what that means. And then when I was 15 is when I attempted suicide. So I was like, cool, now I have 2 fast passes to hell. Um, so basically, as a means of like cognitive survival, I had to reject that ideology because otherwise that ideology had already told me that there was like no point in trying to enjoy life because I had already done things that were like unforgivable, right? Or that's not exactly theologically accurate, but I don't feel like completely explaining that right now. So those were like emotional reasons, right? And then it was actually like at the beginning of 2020 when I was going through really bad Catholic shame. I still carried a lot of dogma with me, and I was still treating myself as if God existed, and I was like punishing myself and treating myself really badly, like on behalf of being such like a bad girl, blah blah blah. And then I sat down and thought about the evidence for the existence of God rationally. And that actually made me feel a lot better about myself because instead of like leaving for quote unquote emotional reasons, which are perfectly valid, when I sat down and thought about it through rational and evidence based reasons, that actually helped me let go of a lot of the burden that I was carrying. So those are 2 things that compelled me to leave. You're muted.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you said we're already at 1 hour, and we didn't want to do this longer than 1
We can
hour,
go for another
unless
30
there's
minutes.
any.
Do you
Okay,
want to go for
okay,
another
you
30
decide.
minutes?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not
Yeah,
feeling too
I'm
bad.
okay. Not bad. Okay, you pick the next question.
Um,
You have some good ones.
will Susanna do book reviews? I mean, if people are interested.
Yes. Let us know in the comment after the stream is over how popular this is. Okay. Or any other requests.
Here's the thing. The biggest obstacle is the resource of my time. That is one of Atheist Republic's most precious resources is my time.
Sure.
Let's be honest. I don't have a lot of it to put towards that. Oh, Smitty. Oh, Smitty.
Okay. I'm not gonna speak for Susanna, but I would guess that our channel will get nuked out if either of us were transparent. I don't know. We'll probably get removed from social media. So is that fair? Okay. Cool.
Let's just leave it at that.
Let's just leave it at that. Yes. Okay. All right.
My immediate reaction. Oh no. Oh baby.
Okay.
Shupam is saying, how can we push for secular education without waging war against a country? Well, one amazing organization that's doing work in this regard is the organization Ideas Beyond Borders. Oh, you wanted us to say you wanted me to say.
I thought you were saying Atheist Republic. What the hell?
Well, okay.
Guys, Atheist Republic.
Yeah. But then there's also organizations like Ideas Beyond Borders, which helps distribute basically Enlightenment values through books that are censored or have never been translated into local language.
However, who reads books anymore? Okay, unfortunately, most people don't read books, so I think like they're wasting a lot of resources. I think. Okay, I think these more
But there are a lot of
the
people who don't have access to the internet.
I know what. Okay, no, there's a lot of consumptions on YouTube, Audible, and audio. If they make audiobooks in Arabic, that would be huge. Okay, that would be huge. But right now, I think right now, if we put the same, if I wish what they were doing is that maybe they are doing this. They take English YouTube videos and they just put Arabic subtitles on them, right? I think like really good videos of some great content creators. They just went to those content creators that, like, for example, like if you take Rationality Rules, for example,
Mm-hmm.
go to that YouTube channel, and if you're a like Arab translator, right, and you go and say like we want to put, actually never mind, because the YouTube Arab the atheist Arab atheist YouTube world is already exploding, and
We need
not in
channels in Malay.
let me finish, please. The Arab, God, I was gonna say not in an Aloha Akbar kind of way, and that would have been funny if you didn't interrupt me. But now that joke is ruined.
I'm
So
sorry.
that's okay. But anyways, but yeah, Urdu, for example, is missing a lot, and that's why Harris Sultan is doing a lot of great work, right? Malay, yeah, like you were saying, Malay, Indonesian, some other languages, Bengali, right? These are, if you could just provide instead of translating books, if you use the same translators resources in translating some of these YouTube videos, the newer generation, that's the kind of content they consume. Okay. And these guys, if you get like, yeah, but books, I mean, people should be reading books. I mean, I like reading books. Okay. But honestly, if you're watching a YouTube video that has the same content, like a half an hour, a 2 hour YouTube video, consuming 2 hours of right YouTube videos is kind of like finishing a short book. Okay. So don't be don't think like, don't be such an elitist to think that content has to come up in the format of a book for it to be some. There are some really bad books written that have some dumb ideas in them, and there are good books. There are good books and there are bad books. Okay, let me finish this, please. There are good books and there are bad books, and there are some good YouTube videos, good podcasts, and some really bad ones. Right. So the format of the content doesn't really suggest anything about how good the quality of the content is, right? So this idea of books are superior to other forms of content, that's nonsense. So okay, so again, you have to go where people are consuming the content the most, and right now that's YouTube's and podcasts. And even if it is books, it's mostly like people are transferring to audio version. But go on.
Well, I was gonna say that I think videos should be dubbed. YouTube videos should be dubbed as well, just for literacy.
That's what we're doing. Yes, Varun, exactly.
Thank you for the $20 super chat. Oh my gosh. Maybe you can also start an Arabic channel if you know the language, just saying, we have one.
Yes, and this is actually, Varun, we should be paying you $20 for giving us this great segue, because the organization, Atheist Republic, is doing that. Okay, so Atheist Republic has a full functioning Persian channel, right? And we have an Arabic channel that is not as active as we want it. But as soon as we get to 500 patrons, we're going to make that Arabic channel very active, and we're going to start our Urdu channel, and also we're going to go to other languages, even Spanish. We're going to start that as well, right? So we are going to do like my book has already been translated to both Persian and Arabic, which is available for free. But what we're going to do with our Persian channel and Arabic channel is that we're going to make audio versions of our book of Why There's No God. Okay, so Why There's No God, for example, one thing I want to do, so the Persian and the Arabic translations of this book is available for free, but I want to make an audio version of the Arabic and Persian version of this and make it available for free. The audio version of this book available for free on our Arabic and Persian channels, right? That's what we're going to be able to afford to do once we reach 500 patrons. And eventually, I'm going to keep continuing doing that with another, like in Urdu, and then in Spanish, in Portuguese, and many other languages. The audio version available for free on our YouTube channel. And also, what we're also going to do once we hit 100, once we hit 500 patrons, is to start Atheist Republic voicemails. You guys know Atheist Republic voicemails? So right now there's a link in the description. If you guys click on it, you can leave us voicemails, and we have a show called Atheist Republic Voicemails, which also gets released on our YouTube channel and our podcast, which is basically voicemails in English from people around the world. So what as we keep growing, I want our voicemails to start. We're gonna have we already are starting our Persian voicemail channel. So Iranian atheists are leaving voicemails right now for us, and I already have the first episode of our first Atheist Republic voicemail channel, episode ready to be released on our Persian channel coming soon. So that's happening, and then we're gonna do the same thing with Arabic and other languages. So basically, Arab atheists or Persian or Urdu atheists can communicate with each other using our platform like that to leave our messages. And then once the next step after that is to put translated captions for these voicemails. So basically, like let's say like you have an Iranian atheist that is leaving a message in Farsi for our Persian channel, and you could have English and Arabic and Urdu and Spanish subtitles. This way, atheists all around the world will be able to leave voicemails for each other regardless of language. So, for example, a Spanish-speaking atheist could go read the Spanish subtitles of a Persian voicemail left by a Persian atheist, right? And then you could go a Persian atheist that doesn't speak Spanish could go to our Spanish YouTube channel and select the Persian subtitles to see what the Spanish-speaking atheists are saying. That's my dream for the future. That's what we're going to do in public. So I don't know how much resources we're going to need to make that happen, but that's my goal.
Well, one of those resources is 500 patrons. So yeah, if you're interested in this, patron is below. Yes. Very quick answer. Is Susanna still single?
No.
Oh, my man is so lucky. Does Susanna think the Catholic Church should be shut down for exporting corruption, greed, and rape all over the world? Short answer, yes.
Yeah. And I will go another short answer. Can you rehighlight that? Mm-hmm. Well, this was for Susanna, but I'm going to answer as well. Does Armin think the Catholic Church should be down for exporting corruption, greed, and rape all over the world? I would say the Catholic Church should be shut down, even if it wasn't exporting corruption, greed, and rape all over the world. Even I think like selling it's already a con job way before it even gets there. So that's just extra. But anyways.
Oh, we got another super chat from Varun.
Wow.
Thank you for the $5. Saying, I am waiting for a fatwa on you guys from Ayatollah. I know what I am saying, but it still makes me feel good.
It would be an honor to have a fatwa on my
My
head.
grandpa recently asked me if I had a fatwa on my head. And he was shocked to learn that I have never once been threatened by a Muslim. I have only ever been threatened by Hindus, exclusively threatened by Hindus. So, good news for Hindus? Question mark.
All right. Thank you again for the super. Thank you so much for the super chat, Varum. Okay. So
wait, this is backtracking a little bit, but do you think Ali Rizvi will let us translate his book too?
I bet he would.
Oh, but he does have a publisher.
Oh no, guys, don't go through publishers. Don't go through publishers. It's so easy to publish a book and gives you have all the says and you keep all the royalties. Publishers don't do anything for you unless you're like one of the top 1% writers out there. Okay. And also, if you're, never mind. Actually, I'm gonna market that.
People are in the chat talking about me as a belly dancer for some reason.
Oh wow, we got.
I saw a comment that please make subbed atheism happen. It would be my favorite anime. Don't you know that anime is a threat to Enlightenment values? That is referencing our friend Vince, aka the Babylon Project. Um, someone was
Thank
asking. Oh,
thank you
I
so
love.
much for the super chat. Thank you. There we go.
I lost a question, but someone was asking what Islamic country do you think will be the last to accept Israel?
To accept Israel, Iran. Easy. Yeah, Islamic country, not Arab country, right? Yes. Okay. Unless there's a revolution or something that happens, I don't know. Then it would be the first.
Oh, wait,
Then it would be the first. Yeah. That's the difference between the people and the. Oh, and actually, that leads to the stream that is coming because thank you, Musad, is like relevant to the stream that is coming. So subscribe to make sure you see that. Yeah, but hold on, let me. What did I
thank
highlight?
you for what happened.
Yeah, Deepak is saying, imagine you got a voicemail from Allah asking that you cut it out, and that it's not funny now. Okay, Deepak, we don't have to imagine that. You could be Allah, act as Allah, and link in the description. Let us know what pretend like you're Allah and leave us a voicemail. Okay, that would be funny.
This
Cool.
reminded me I needed to go look up a update on Khamenei's health because there's rumors that he's doing really badly right now and transferring power to his son. Although, as of 5 days ago, Iranian officials have denied rumors.
I have been following that like a hawk, but it's really hard to see the difference between what's real and what's a conspiracy. So I don't know when to make a stream on it, but right now it's so interesting. I don't know what to think right now.
You could do a stream. You could do a stream on that.
Okay.
That might actually be very informative for a lot of people who need help figuring out what is real and what is conspiracy from the news coming out of Iran.
Interesting.
Like that would be helpful for me as someone who can't speak Farsi and can't dig deeper into primary sources.
I'm about to ban Qasim from our
Qasim, you should know this.
Because how does he not know this? Have you published your book in Farsi PDF version? Yes. And the fact that you don't know this makes me so sad. How could you be following us? Okay. I'm gonna ban
Armin, where can they find it if they need it?
I don't actually know. Afshin, is Afshin here by any chance?
I think so.
Isn't it on our website? Yeah, it's on our website, isn't it? It's atheistrepublic.com, books tab. Okay, it's not. Why is it not here? Okay, Susanna, can you make it the PDF version? Can you tell our web developer to make the PDF versions of the translations of my book, Why There's No God, available on the website and the books tab?
Sure, but you're going to have to give me that PDF first.
Yeah, I will do that. And also, can you make it so that when they go to the book section? No, never mind. That's fine.
We can talk about this later. I need to put this on my to-do list.
Okay. Wait, Armin, you should review Rudy Rachman's comedic video, Clash of Cultures. Soha and I were doubled over laughing. Okay, can somebody post this in our Discord server? Guys, go to our Discord server, link in the description. We have a channel in our Discord server called Video Recommendations that gives you can post your suggestions on what videos I review on live streams over there.
Very quick question.
What the hell? I already talked to Vosh. You guys haven't seen my discussion with Vosh? Go search Armin Navabi Vosh.
Yeah. Would either of you ever go vegan? I cannot go vegan for health reasons. Unless there was suddenly drastic ways to address those prohibiting factors. Also, I just get too much joy out of meat. So, would you ever go vegan, Armin?
No.
Yeah.
Short answer. Here, what is your biggest policy? Okay, let's make this a big and last question because I need to go pee. Smithy is saying, what is your biggest policy disagreement with Bernie Sanders? Protectionism. Yeah, protectionism. What about you? Oh, yeah. After that, I'm going to answer.
I guess this isn't a policy disagreement. I don't like he got better, I think, in the second campaign, but the heavy use of identity politics, but that's not policy. But that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, the cringiest moment was when he said white people don't know how to feel poor. White people don't know what it's like to feel poor. That was so cringe. And people are like, you're taking him out of context. And you look at the context like, nope, that's exactly what he meant. And that was so cringe, but that's not a policy. So that when it comes to and affects a lot less people. That attitude affects a lot less people than his protectionist attitudes. I think that's the most costly view he has. But I also like a lot of things about it. I like his foreign policy. So a lot of his, I like the fact that he was one of the leading politicians against. It's easy to be leading when nobody else is talking about it. He was one of the only people that was consistently calling out Saudi Arabia's war on Yemeni civilians. So that was pretty nice to see. So that was good. Armin, what do you think us Iranian expats can do to help the society back home? I don't know why you. First of all, I don't think when you're trying to think helps as many people as possible, you don't necessarily have to worry about whether they are Iranian or not, right? The reason why I started with the Persian channel is because I speak Persian, so I have a lot more to contribute there. But it's not because I feel like any sense of any need to think to help Iranian people above other people. Like, I'm a humanist, and I want to see how I could benefit the world, with the highest number of people, regardless of where they are, whether they're regardless of their country, right? So I don't know if that's the right way, unless you are thinking about people back home, as in because you speak Persian, so you think you could contribute there as well more. I mean, help them in what way? Like, okay, here's what I think. I think it's more effective to think about how you could help people. What are you passionate about in helping? Okay, not because we're not like robots, right? We can't be like there. Think about it like as in a diet, right? It's really easy to not eat the foods and lose weight, right? But again, you're an emotional creature, and part of the calculation of being effective is how to turn a habit into a lifestyle rather than do something for a short period of time and then give up on it, right? So you have to take your emotions and what you're passionate about into account. So thinking about the same comes with like finishing tasks, doing exercises, having a healthy diet. But also, this is also true when it comes to helping other people, right? Like, you could find the most harm and the most misery and the most effective way of reducing that. But if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to continue doing it, right? And you're not going to be motivated to do it. And you're not going to turn it into something that you will consistently do. It's going to be something that you're going to try for a little bit and you're going to burn out and you're going to stop, right? So I think the most important part of the calculation on how to help other people is not necessarily what, it is an important, but it's not the most important. The most important part is not what reduces the highest amount of misery, but what motivates me to continue, right? If your thing is like, I hate abuses against dogs, I just hate it. It just motivates me to get up and do something, right? Somebody might tell you like, what? That's not. It is really like, we have global warming, we have this, we have that, we have COVID, and you're caring about abuses against dogs. I mean, that's the problem. Abuses against dogs is a thing, and if that's what you're passionate about and that's what you want to focus on, then focus on that. At least you're doing something compared to people that are doing nothing. The most people who are doing nothing, right? So I think the most important part of a calculation on how to help is what you're passionate about and what motivates you. All right, that's it. There goes that. But again, that doesn't mean you should ignore the calculation on whether or not it's reducing misery or not, okay? Because if you think that I'm passionate about spreading Islam, then no, then no, okay? So yeah, so it is part of the calculating whether or not you are reducing misery should be part of the calculation, but it's not the most important one. Anyways, Susie, should we end this here, or do you want? Is there anything that you really want to highlight, or should we go?
Let me do a quick last perusal.
No, we're not gonna ban people.
Yeah, no, we even ban trolls unless they're spamming.
Yeah, we only ban spammy people unless somebody is becoming like, for other reasons that we cannot say, to become problematic.
Yeah, there are very few circumstances. Okay, Peter Peterson is asking, do ex-Muslims have an obligation to challenge Islam when an individual makes a false claim using Islam as evidence? I do not think your average everyday apostate has an obligation to do that. No.
No, I don't think so.
Just an everyday person? No. You don't have an obligation to do very few things in life.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, if
you're obligated to do.
I think if you decide to do it, we should be grateful to you, but you don't have an obligation. Definitely not. All right, cool. Let's leave this here. Guys, if you want to corrupt the Vedas, with your atheist interpretations, okay? If you want to help us spread corruption on earth. Wait, so we have a Hindu version of this, and we have an Islamic version of this, right? Spreading corruption on earth is the Islamic version, and corrupting the Vedas is the Hindu version of this. And we could do both. We could do both.
Oh, I was going to say, well,
Armin Army. What?
I realized recently that this is not specifically Hindu. I think this is more generally Indian, but just based on what I've been seeing in my comments. Okay, but I think the Indian version of spreading corruption in the land is quote unquote inciting communal disharmony.
Right. Okay.
Because they just use it to like that's what they. I've been blamed for that so many times. The most bad.
Anyway, I was in mid rant when I was saying, subscribe to spread corruption on earth. Corrupt the Vedas, corrupt the Quran, spread corruption, atheists, the Armin Army. Go, yes, corrupt all holy books. Good, Ghost Bunny. Yes, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, tell everybody, and yes. Oh, that Quran has stories to share. Okay, let's go.
How beat up it is.
Oh my god. I feel so sad for that Quran. It's crying right now. Anyways, guys, subscribe and let other people know that this is dislike everyone. Do not subscribe, guys. San, do not subscribe. Unsubscribe. San is saying dislike, guys. San Bajwa does not like it if you like this video, and he doesn't like it when our subscribe count goes up. Okay, so you know what to do. All right, bye.